Good
evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the world premiere of the new Vito. To be honest, I find it pretty hard to be here in a half-finished building in Berlin without cracking any jokes about the planned airport. But then again, there are plenty of unfinished construction projects in southern Germany as well. And I know from my own experience as an amateur handyman that our wishes and abilities aren't always compatible. For example, a few years ago, I was very pleased with myself after single-handedly tiling my basement. Although the tile pattern won't be featuring in the Architectural Digest, but the tiles are still there. As a result, I was willing to tackle even bigger challenges. That's why my next project was a structural improvement. I wanted to make my living room bigger, so I spontaneously decided to demolish a wall with a jackhammer. Unfortunately, after I had finished the job, I noticed that I had torn down a load-bearing wall, with a serious consequence. Don't worry, the house is still standing, but my pride as a handyman was permanently dented. Why am I telling you all this, you may ask? It's because such incidents demonstrate something we want to prove today with the new Vito. If you want a job to be done really well, get the professionals to do it. And that's just what we've done with the new Vito, our professional van for professionals. It has the will and the skill, and it gets the job done. Mercedes-Benz vans have been reliable tools for specialists since 1955. Since then, the number of professionals who rely on our vans has steadily grown. In the first half of 2014, we increased sales by 12% compared to the same period last year. Our sales grew by 15% here in Europe and by 16% in China. Sales increased by 18% in the NAFTA region and jumped by almost 40% in Russia. Our bestseller, the Sprinter, is receiving an especially good market response, and it is always remarkable to see that our customers think the Sprinter can do just about anything. So it's no surprise that our market share of the large van segment is almost 20% in Europe and over 30% in Germany. That makes the Sprinter absolutely number one. In the mid-size segment, there is still some room to grow. We have sold almost 1.2 million units of the Vito since it was originally launched on the market. These vehicles range from panel vans for craftsmen to 9-seat passenger vans for taxi companies. But the Vito has so far been performing a bit like the German national soccer team did in 2002. You may recall that back then our team put on a good show in the final match against Brazil, but lost by a narrow margin. However, this year's World Cup clearly showed that people who work hard don't have to be permanently satisfied with second place. That applies, and we're convinced of that, to our Vito as well. And this fact is also underscored by Daimler's current development. This year, sales of the new Mercedes-Benz S-Class have surpassed those of the BMW series and the Audi A8 combined. With regard to trucks, we're not only undisputed world market leader, but also technology leader for autonomous driving. And in the bus sector, our Mercedes-Benz and Zetsche brands are at the forefront of developments worldwide. Moreover, Silver Arrows finished first 9 times in the 11 Formula One races that have been held so far this year. This year also marks the 8th time in a row that our Sprinter took its first place in the vote for the Career Express and Parcel Van of the Year. And our new V-Class has met with a fantastic response not only from critics and customers, but even from kings. At the end of May, for example, the former Spanish king Juan Carlos visited our plant in Vitoria, where he tried out the V-Class and was visibly thrilled. I don't know whether this was because no other recreational vehicle is as versatile as the new V-Class, but the fact is that the King went into retirement less than 2 weeks after he visited our plant, after having spent almost 40 years on the throne. In any case, the new Vito is now being launched for those of us who aren't thinking of retirement yet. It has been conceived for people who have challenges to master, whether at a construction site or a taxi stand. And because I was personally involved in the development of the first Vito, I naturally want the new version of the model series to claim a top position. To make sure this will happen, we proceeded like the workers at a good construction site when planning the new Vito. In other words, we brought together the best people from the various units and took advantage of all the factors in our favor. Our approximately 120 years of experience in the commercial vehicle business, our technological edge in safety and assistance systems from our car range, and our group-wide expertise with regard to efficiency. The result is a van whose abilities have been greatly increased without costing more. Volker Mornhinweg will soon be filling in the details regarding the new Vito. However, at this point, I would like to say that the new Vito will not only be useful at any construction site, it will also be able to handle big challenges. In fact, it has the highest payload capacity in its segment and can carry up to 120 kilograms more weight than its predecessor. The van is also very smart and offers great versatility for any assignment. Moreover, the Vito always pays attention because of its unique range of safety systems. And finally, it helps the owner to save money thanks to its efficiency engines, low operating and maintenance costs, and very fair purchase price. This is the price. This is the basis of our claim that the Vito has the will and the skill, and it gets the job done. Thanks to this package, we believe that even more people will not only want to buy the vehicle, but will actually do so because the conditions are so attractive. In fact, we're so convinced of this that we're now also putting the Vito on the road in North America and Latin America. We expect markets there to grow dynamically, leading to a big demand for technologically sophisticated products such as the Vito. In order to capture a significant part of this growth, we will also build the new mid-sized van for Latin America in Buenos Aires. That's why I met with the Argentine President, Cristina Kirchner, in October 2012. However, instead of 10 minutes as originally planned, she ended up giving me a whole hour of her precious time. This was certainly due to our extensive involvement in her country, as well as to her interest in our vans. To be honest, it was also because she has a very personal relationship with a small Vito. He is just as loyal and reliable as our big Vito, only a bit more hairy. I think it's a good sign that Cristina Kirchner's dog is also called Vito. Maybe our Vito will help patch up German-Argentine relations again following the World Cup final. Maybe with our Vito, after the soccer final, we can improve relations between our two countries. Ladies and gentlemen, I am personally convinced that the new Vito offers everything you expect of a Mercedes-Benz, and it does so at an extremely attractive price. Daimler is in the fast lane. We're now thoroughly updating our entire product range, and the new Vito is continuing the product offensive in the van sector. In fact, the vehicle symbolizes our attacking philosophy in this segment. But now you have waited long enough, and I have talked long enough. It's time you finally get to see the new Vito. Thank you very much.